Hey guys, back here at long last to make a full-time return, so to speak, to making videos. Obviously I have been very inactive as of late. I haven't made a video in the last 2 weeks, and even before then I was only making a video very occasionally. But that is all over now. Back full-time, multiple videos a week depending on what there is to talk about. I have pretty much all the time in the world until the college stuff starts. My exams are over. Woohoo. Got all the time in the world for the duration of the summer, so I should be a lot more active on this channel, a lot more active in the community period, giving my thoughts on wrestling and all that good stuff. I'm not going to try and cram 4, 5, 6, whatever weeks worth of wrestling thoughts into one video. This will be probably a very short video depending on how long I go on in a few things, but basically just kind of like a reintroductionary video into certain things that if I were active in the last few weeks I probably would have talked about at some point. So that's what this video is going to be. I've been doing, I would say, a decent job of keeping up. Like, I haven't been watching all that much necessarily, but I think I've been keeping myself pretty well informed about what's been going on. Not to the point where my views on this stuff might be as well informed as some other people who have had more time than I have, but I think I can speak on these with just some observations that I've made. Obviously the biggest story in the last, week, I guess, has been the fact that Danielson has been fired from WWE. I think that it should be a foregone conclusion at this point that he actually is gone, and anyone who still thinks that they actually still have him under contract is being a little foolish, I would say, because I think that if you did not have him show up on Raw last week, then any impact you might have had if it were a work would just kind of deflate. And I don't think the impact of the work, it would be mostly shock value. It wouldn't seem to. I don't think there's any really storyline value to it, I guess. But I'm pretty much certain that he's gone. Now I have no doubt that he'll be back. Don't get me wrong. I have no doubt that they're going to hire him back before long, and pretty much after the 90 days are up, I'm sure he'll be back, because, you know, whoever apparently was upset over the choking incident, I was just confused at the fact that they weren't actually trying to publicize the case and actually try to create some bad public relations for the company. I mean, were they being polite about it? Were they keeping their reservations about this private? That's not what I would expect them to do, to be honest. So I don't think they care enough about it to do that. Maybe they threatened the WWE with that. I don't know. I wasn't there, but that's what I think. I think it will blow over, and I think Danielson will be allowed to come back. So that's it. Even if he goes to Dragon Gate and these Evolve shows and starts burying the company, I think they'll take him back anyway. I think there's no doubt about that. We'll see him back. Hopefully we'll get to see him in Ring of Honor maybe once or twice before he ends up going back. But I'm very certain we'll see him back. No reservations about that. I think it was just a delicate situation. They didn't really have a lot of time to consider their options, I guess. And they just made, I wouldn't say a rash decision, but they kind of they kept their options open, I'll say that much. And I wasn't too upset about it, because I don't think there's a very good chance we'll see him back. Maybe it might not be at the direct end of the 90 days, but before the end of the year I'd say we'd see him back there, and it'll be delayed, his rise to prominence. But judging by what they were doing, and I was bewildered at the fact that they've now posted on their Facebook page that a picture of Danielson with the question under it, should we hire him back? I mean, this just makes this a lot more bizarre in my opinion. I don't know how well informed the higher ups in that company are about their internet presence, considering the poor standard of their YouTube page at the best of times. But the fact that they put that on their Facebook page has kind of bewildered me, to be honest. I found that I scratched my head at that, to be completely honest. But other than that, nothing in the WWE is really noteworthy to me at this point in time. The Fatal 4 pay-per-view, very mediocre in my opinion. Fatal 4 matches can be fun. They can be fast-paced, enjoyable. They keep you guessing as to who's going to win, and I have no problems with that. It's just that I don't really care enough about the results of these matches to really get invested in them. I do hope that Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship one. That's one thing I will say. that is a result that I care about, because I think there's a fair chance that'll happen as well. I do think there's a fair chance that'll happen, simply because Big Show and Rey Mysterio do not win title matches. They're always in them, but they don't win them. And Jack and Swagger, to me, is still very mediocre. I just have not been able to get into him. I know some people think that the role suits him, and I guess he has been improving to a degree, but I don't know, I'm just not really into it. So I would hope that Punk wins, and I think he has a chance of winning. But other than that, nothing right now on the Fatal 4-Way card is of any interest to me, and that pretty much defines... the NXT angle might still have some legs, have some life in it, but just that's kind of my take on the WWE right now, just kind of I don't know, nothing too interesting, I would say. TNA, pretty much, I do not think you will get many TNA videos from this channel, and if you do, it'll always be about something that I actually want to talk about and I actually like, something that I actually like within that company, because I feel like even if you go down the negatives that are within that company right now, it's not going to make any difference, because I think they are determined not to listen. It just seems like they're not listening. They don't care to listen. They never will listen. So I don't see any point in doing TNA negative videos at this point. I will do, they do so much in 2 hours every week that you're bound to find something that you like, and I have found things that I've liked in the past month or two, but it's been marred by so much crap that I don't think I'll be spending much time talking about TNA. I have been enjoying the Mr. Anderson face turn. I think that's been a lot of fun. I think he has, they turned him face for the same reason that the WWE turned Orton face, because of the crowd reactions kind of commanded it. And I think that Mr. Anderson would be a much better candidate for the next Stone Cold than Randy Orton would be, if there is going to ever be a next Stone Cold, because I have been enjoying the face turn. I think it's entertaining. I think it works. I think it's fun. So I hope they go with that. It might only be temporary, I could see that, but for the most part I've been enjoying that. And I have been very much enjoying Matt Morgan until Hernandez came back, and then this whole feud has just reeked of just being a dead-end feud. He's just kind of, they're being shunted sideways. Neither man is making any progress. Now granted, I have not seen the Impact before Slammiversary or Slammiversary itself as of yet. I have the Impact on what Americans would call DVR, and I have made some progress to finishing it, but I have not yet caught up on the most recent TNA stuff. But I was enjoying Matt Morgan a lot up until Hernandez came back, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. But yeah, I just really TNA right now is just kind of very mediocre to me. Actually, worse than mediocre on a whole. But I do normally watch Impact for the stuff that I actually do like, and there usually is something within those 2 hours that I like, even if the rest of it is complete bullshit. So there you go on that. Not very much to say there. Ring of Honor, of course. Death Before Dishonor 8 is on Saturday night. Pretty much the best celebration for the end of exams that I could have hoped for. I will say that, because I'm going to make a concentrated effort to beat off the efforts of sleep and watch this live. I tried that with the Big Bang with not much success, although I was very grateful that I did do it, because I was still awake to a satisfactory degree to appreciate what Daniel's return meant. But I will try my best to watch this with full appreciation until the end. I don't know, I might sleep a few hours before it, but this looks like a very stacked card. I still think Davey should win. I said that when I talked about the main event when it was first announced. I think Davey should win. I think that, don't get me wrong, there are still positives, I think, to Tyler retaining, and I can definitely see those positives, but I think there are more positives associated with Davey winning, because I still think that Davey and Daniels is the feud with the most interest that Ring of Honor could do right now, and I'm sticking with that. I'm not going to call it a prediction, because I could see Davey win. Not Davey. I could see Tyler retaining. But if it were me, I would give Davey it here and now, just kind of like a big bold thing to do at this point. And that's what Big Bang had with Daniels returning, a big daring thing that happened on the show that made you feel, that took the reality, just kind of put you on the spur of the moment and made you feel like you were in the middle of something amazing. which is something that, you know, a great wrestling match can do that, but not to the same degree that something like Danny's returning can do. And I think that Death Before Dishonor needs something like that, and Davey winning would, the moment of Davey winning would satisfy that that demand. So I still think that Davey should win. Whether or not I do a vid talking about Death Before Dishonor will depend on just how momentous that is, whether or not it has that momentous quality to it. Because I think the wrestling will be great, but I just want to see what else it has to offer. And I'm sure, I have no doubt that it'll offer something worth watching and worth ordering, which I will be doing. I will be ordering it because it's very cheap. And that's it for this video. I actually went a lot longer than I expected to, and I don't think it came off too badly at all. So I'm out. Later.